to the broadcast of It's Time with Reverend Nathaniel W. Martin. Here's Reverend Martin.
All right, thank you, Dr. Blackwell. And let me say Hotep Haravaragani to my Africana Studies colleagues and contemporaries and friends. And let me hasten to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, but certainly never good night and never ever goodbye, because I always find goodbye personally traumatizing. My name is the Reverend Nathaniel Wayne Martin. I'm the pastor of the New Life Institutional Baptist Church here in the city of Los Angeles, and we're being hosted by our sister church, the Shiloh Missionary Christian Church, of whom the Reverend Dr. Della F. Hollis is the pastor. And you're welcome and invited to come and worship with us anytime you're in the neighborhood. All right, coming up Manchester to Maine or coming up Century to Maine, just come on in and worship with us. We're there, and we'll be glad to host you and to have you in our services. The offering that you are viewing right now, or hopefully listening to, is entitled "It's Time," and it is a social justice offering. We don't get into the hoopalistics of preaching, because we try to deal with social justice and how it impacts us and the world, as it were. And of course, whatever impacts the world impacts the church. Okay? And with that in mind, we wanted to kind of digress from the way our usual approach has been, and look at St. Luke, the 16th chapter, and picking up our reading at the second verse. And it says, "He called him and said unto him, How is it that I hear this of thee? Give an account of thy stewardship, for thou mayest no longer be steward." And that is what we're talking about, giving an account. Most of us don't realize that a politician is a servant, and that politician is, whether he or she is accountable to you, each one of us, for their stewardship. Because even though we attach different titles and to the office, it's really stewardship at the root, whether you're a mayor, a city council person, the janitor, the custodian, or some other exalted title. You are accountable. You are a steward. What is a steward? A steward is a administrator. He's a manager, male or female. And please believe me, some women can run businesses far better than we men. But be that as it may, it's stewardship that is concerning us today. What are the people doing? What are the people that we put in these positions? What are they doing with these offices that we have put them in? Because, like I said, it's a stewardship. It's a management. It's an administration. It's a supervision. All of those declensions, if you will, apply to a person that is basically a steward, a politician. It doesn't matter what their name, whether it's Donald Trump or Letitia James or any of the other great personalities. Look at the mess that the Jim Jordan and this Congressman Comer and the GOP have gotten themselves into by relying on a false witness that was proven to be a false witness, and now is in jail as a false witness. And they were relying on this witness to impeach President Joe Biden. They were going to impeach Joe Biden and get him removed from office, or embarrassed at the least. And now we come to find out that this was all a scam because their source, as they called it, Mr. Alexander Smirnov, had been stringing them along all of this time. And he had said that he had evidence that Joe Biden and Hunter Biden had illegally enriched themselves to the tune of $5 million. And you know the Republicans jumped all over that. And so with Mike Johnson in the lead, they were chomping at the bit and slobbering at the mouth to bite into some good Joe Biden meat. But it turns out that they were bamboozled. They were defrauded. And they, in that turn, have defrauded the whole nation because everyone has been holding their breath to wait and see what this evidence that they had would be. But come to find out, this was false evidence. It was a false witness. It was a false, what do you call that, a false flag? A false positive. All of those falsehoods. But Mr. Alexander Smirnov has been an FBI informant for years. But now they caught him in a lie. And this lie threatened to imperil the whole U.S. Executive. And so that's a good evidence, an example of why you have to be careful in your dealings with the public's trust, because that's what it is. It is a public trust. And when people abuse the public trust, it throws a bad putrescence odor over everybody, even people that they had nothing to do with it. Makes us look suspicious. And so the question remains, give an account of thy stewardship, for thou mayest no longer be steward. And hats off to Miss Letitia James. Not only was she on the job on Donald Trump, but she was also at the same time holding Wayne LaPierre's feet to the fire for his lavish trips that he was taking on the dime of the National Rifle Association, and he's been found guilty of taking these lavish vacations and these lavish. When you get in that first class seat, you better be able to justify sitting in that first class seat. And he couldn't justify it because he had defrauded the National Rifle Association, of which he was the steward, president, chairman, for over, I think, 30 years. 30 years. And Miss Letitia James, true to her calling, has called him out and found him out for misusing funds. And he's now got to pay those funds back, and he may have to go to jail. Another example of a person who did not honor their stewardship or got sloppy on the job. Being there so long, you take it for granted. Ain't nobody gonna check on me. I can do what I want. No, somebody will check on you down the line, and you can't do as you want. All right. And so I was listening to a YouTube speech of Donald Trump that he was making to the to the Christian community, and he has his fingers, in their eyes and blowing smoke up their nose and telling them that God is with him. And if you believe that, I can sell you a bridge in Brooklyn. But anyway, they're eating that up, and they're just in love with Donald Trump. Evidently, he can do no wrong, and they're not holding him accountable for anything. And they're dead set on paying off this $600 trillion of debt that was visited upon him just last week in the court. And so he's really going to have to do a sales job to help to make them stay the course and pay off that indebtedness. Because as I heard today, the judge in Garan did not give them a stay. In other words, give them a little time for the indebtedness has to be paid. So that judge says, no, they got to pay that indebtedness immediately, and then the penalties and interest naturally are going to be compounded daily. That's at 9% on $600 trillion, and he's got to come up with that money right away. Sad to say, however, that one of our own, Mrs. Tiffany Henyard, who's the mayor of Dolton, New York, is going to find herself in jail sooner rather than later. The council people voted in 2023 for her to pay the bank for the police vehicles that every municipality provides its emergency vehicle. You got ambulances, you got police vehicles, you got other EMT vehicles and the like. And but in place of her carrying out that duty as a good steward, no, she did something other than that with the money. And when she assumed that office, the city was solvent, but now the city is $7 million in the hole. Wonder where all that money went, Miss Tiffany. And so give an account of your stewardship. And when the bank got to send the repo man to repossess the police cars, now you can just about tell who that is, and without me saying so. And so this looks very bad, very, very bad. And so Mrs. Tiffany Henyard, Mayor Tiffany Henyard of Dolton, New York, you're going to have to give an account of your stewardship. It's bad enough, that people put that rap on us, and then for us to confirm it, oh my Savior, how how humiliating and how shameful this is. So you got to walk the line, you got to walk the talk, and these examples that we are raising demonstrate the fact that stewardship is important. How you administrate what is put in your hand. Jesus said, "He that is faithful in that which is least can be accounted faithful in that which is more." And I never will forget when your mama used to whoop you, say, "Hey, I'm whooping you for lying, because you lie on a little thing, you'll lie on a big thing." And so that principle still applies even today, and we see it acted out before us over and over. People that we put our political trust and faith in, they let us down. They renege or they hold back. Joe Biden's foot being held to the fire for the fact that he is supporting Israel and resupplying Israel with all of these armaments And remember, those bombs that they're dropping and those missiles that they're shooting and those tanks that they're operating and those rifles and those bullets, all of those, from airplanes down to the Jeeps that they drive, those are American armaments. And so that is what Joe Biden is being held accountable for, being complicit in that genocide that is going on in Gaza. And the people in Detroit, Michigan are holding him accountable. And a lot of them are saying they're not going to vote for him. They're going to vote uncommitted in November because of the way that, as I say, he has been complicit in supplying Israel with the armaments that they're using to kill the people to exterminate. Right now, I believe that the number of people killed is up to 30,000 and rising. And it was bad enough when it was 3,000, but now it's 10 times that. And with no end in sight. And the U.S. vetoed another ceasefire resolution in the United Nations, and that is beginning to be a stench in the eyes and the noses of the general public, because hey, how many people do you have to kill? And half of these are women and children. And so that is a very staggering statistic, 30,000 killed. And still they're talking about the Rafah crossing, that they're going to go in there and destroy and kill, just like we did in the Vietnam War, search and destroy. And it doesn't bode well for our historical legacy of the United States of America. Give an account of your stewardship. We used to be the bright city on a hill, but we're no longer the bright city on a hill, because it's come to pass, it has come to light, it has been revealed how much of the genocide that has been occurring in the world can be laid at our doorsteps. Long before Patrice Lumumba was assassinated by the CIA there in the Democratic Republic of Congo, speaking broadly of the United States as a group, as a people, myself included, even though I wouldn't have voted for any of that, but we are complicit in the slaughter and in the massacres that have occurred around the world. The Monroe Doctrine was followed in this hemisphere, and that's why you have trouble in Latin America, you have trouble in Nicaragua, and all of those places, because as a people, we have imposed our will on those countries, and we have undermined the leadership of those countries. Some places we have outright just assassinated that leadership and put in leadership of our own, whether it was in Mexico or as in Nicaragua or any of the other Central American countries. Don't forget, the reason why we are at odds with Cuba is because they resisted and successfully to this part, although now with the Soviet Union no longer being a player on the world stage, then we are attempting to impose our will on Cuba the same way we impose our will on Haiti, and we reduce Haiti to worse than a third world country. It is now just a shell of its great place in the sun that it once had. And the problems in Haiti can all be laid at the doorstep of the United States State Department. And as I always say, Haiti can't catch a break. And so what about that stewardship? What about the Clinton Foundation that was supposed to rebuild Haiti? Anybody else Bill Clinton to give account of that stewardship? He's had how many years and nothing good has happened? The country has fallen into decline and degenerated into street gangs running the streets, and Bill Clinton is sitting on the money, all of that money that the nations gave, that the people over here in the United States contributed. What has Bill Clinton done to alleviate that suffering there in Haiti? From this standpoint, he hasn't done anything. He built some lavish hotels and government houses for he and his cohorts to cohabit. But what about the people that reside in Haiti? They have been left adrift and bereft of aid. We're doing in Haiti what Israel is doing in Gaza, and it stinks to high heaven. And somebody needs to call the officials and the responsible parties into account and say, hey, give us an account of your stewardship, because you may no longer be a steward, because you have squandered the funds, you've embezzled the funds, you've manipulated the funds, and we don't see anything to the benefit of the people of Haiti. And so these type of observations are what we are at today in the year of 2024, as we come up on this pivotal election season in November. And somebody needs to hold somebody's feet to the fire. I need to ask the responsible officials, what are you doing? What have you done all of this time? And not to mention the border situation. We don't want to put no doors up at that border, but we ain't gonna be able to be the United States of America until you put a wall up at the border, because you got to know who's coming in and out of your house. No matter how much of a Christian you are, you got to put some doors, some locks on them doors when you get ready to go to bed. And somebody gonna come in and join you that you don't want in there. And these are the things that I think we have kicked the can down the road too far now, and you can no longer kick that can. Joe Biden is all of a sudden discovering that he has powers to do something at the borders that he claimed he didn't have all of this time. As much as beginning of this month, he was still telling Congress, said, I can't do nothing until Congress does something. No, we come to find out, he could actually have closed that back door, just like Donald Trump closed that back door. So all of a sudden, with his foot to the fire now, he's finding courage to do what they should have done. I imagine now 70 years ago, they should have closed that back door and make people have a process and stop all this asylum seeking. This asylum seeking is going to get the mayor of Chicago kicked out of office. And he's doing more for the immigrants who were brought up there by Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis than he's doing for the people, the citizens who live there. They're not getting that type of aid from their government, from the from the city, the state, or the county. 4 minutes? 5 minutes. All right. If the people claim asylum, they automatically become eligible for food stamps, for housing, and they can become eligible to get a job. But what about the citizens that live in Chicago? Where's their food? Where's their support? Where's their housing vouchers? You know, that's what's making it look so hypocritical. That you can find money for immigrants, but you can't find money for the citizens who pay the taxes. And remember, these immigrants are coming in cash poor, and they are being feted and favored, and it's just not looking. It doesn't have a good look for people like you and me who are struggling to pay our bills every day and being denied the services that we so badly need, especially for our young, for our babies, and for our elderly. And while I'm on that topic, look at what the Alabama Supreme Court did this week. Not only did the U.S. Supreme Court overturn the Dobbs decision, which killed Roe v. Wade, but now the Alabama Supreme Court in the state of Alabama has said that the eggs that the people leave in these clinics, that those are people. And that if you can't make this stuff up, folks, and if the eggs get destroyed, that's a murder. And so now you got all of this coming up right here against the election. It's not bad enough that they got in trouble with Dobbs and the women can no longer have control over their bodies, but now you're saying you can't have control over the eggs. And so people that need in vitro fertilization, that's where you take the sperm out of the man and the egg out of the woman, and you do whatever they do in the dish, and then they put that back into the female, and she's able to carry it to term. And a lot of people can't conceive in the normal way, and science has made it possible that even though things may be going wrong, whether the husband's sperm is weak or the woman's has some type of birth canal problems, that you could get around that. But now with the state of Alabama saying that this egg is a human being, a person, now they're throwing another monkey wrench into the discussion. And believe you me, they have gotten themselves into a lot of hot water by venturing into an area that they should have stayed out of. That should have been left between a woman and her doctor. But no, Alabama, the state of Alabama, just like they did during slavery, they want to run everything. All right. So then, give an account of your stewardship. And so as I wrap up here, I'm going to say, as I always say, if you're working on a job and they don't want to pay you, take my advice. Don't waste your life. Don't waste your career. If they don't want to pay you, don't work for them. Thank you, Doc. We're out of here.